Hey y'all, it's Coach in the Fire here. This is I think I'm just gonna ignore them. This is the Feast of Trumpets, guys. Guys out there blowing the trumpets early this morning, and I want to do a class on what it means uh, from the Feast of Trumpets, coming from let's see. First, let's go to Leviticus 23. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. We can go to Leviticus 23, verse 24. It says, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, on the seventh month, in the first day of the month, ye shall have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpets and holy convocation." And I need another verse here. Let me go get another verse. All right, so I'm looking here. I got 23, 24, and 25. And it says, "Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire." All right, so we want to, y'all finish?
Yeah. When Christian and Clifford did it. You want to do it?
No, I'll do mine a little later. I'm doing a class right now on the first day and of the seventh month is what I'm looking here. And I'm looking in Leviticus chapter 23 and 24. Now, to find the thing about the scripture is that it was given, you always got the law or the rule first, and then you have examples of how they used it. So one thing we can do to figure out what they did on this day is we can go and actually look. So let's go look. Okay, now I'm here in Gateway, BibleGateway.com, and what I'm going to look for is first day, seventh month. And let's see what pops up. All right, we got 6 verses or 6 hits for the first day of Sabbath. So let's see what happens. Now, the first one is Leviticus 23 and 24, which is the one we just talked about. Okay, now Leviticus 23 and 29, that's talking about the 7th day, but it's talking about the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles. So that's not really what we're looking for. Now, Numbers 29 and 1 says, "And in the 7th month, on the first day of the month, ye shall have a holy convocation. Ye shall do no servile work. It is a day of blowing of trumpets unto you." Now, let's go on. Now, here in Ezra, is where we're going to get the application, what they actually did. And I'm going to put it in context because we want to see what they actually did. So let's jump over here and see. Ezra chapter 3, verse 5 through 7. "And afterward offer the continual burnt offering, both of the new moons of all the set feasts of the Lord that were consecrated." See, now, one of the things we learn from the scripture is that they had feasts every month. On the new moon, they had a big to-do every month. "And of every one that willingly offered a freewill offering unto the Lord. From the first day of the 7th month began they to offer burnt offerings unto the Lord, but the foundations of the temple of the Lord were not yet laid." You remember what was going on there, Stay?
I do not remember.
So it's talking about Ezra, where they're about to build the temple. They got the commands to rebuild the temple, and here we're talking what they did in the 7th month. So the first day of the 7th month is when they're starting to think about building the foundations of the temple.
Ezra had went and got an order from the king to go back and start rebuilding the temple. So this is what's happening. He's getting ready to start rebuilding the temple. He got his order. The people are getting ready to start giving an offering. Actually, they gave so much that he told them not to give anymore. So this is what's happening.
Okay, that's where it says there they gave money. Okay, now the thing is that when they're thinking about building this temple, here it is on the 7th day of the first month, and we're kind of looking at what they were doing. So we understand this to be a living parable, and we're expecting the temple of the Most High to be built within us. Now, could this be, a rapture watch as we think about the spiritual correlation between, this temple that Ezra was building and the temple that's supposed to be built on our heart, and the first day of the seventh month being the day that it all kind of starts. I believe so, but what do you think, Steph?
Well, I think it possibly can, because you're always saying, and Scripture always teaches us that there's a physical part and there's a spiritual part in everything that the Father does.
And it teaches that this was all living parables. Let's look what in Nehemiah 8:2 is. Let's go. I'm gonna put it in context too. Okay, so that takes us to 8 verse 1 through 3. It says, "And all the people gathered themselves together as one man into the street that was before the water gate. And they spake unto Ezra the scribe to bring the book of the law of Moses, which the Lord had commanded to Israel." So here's we're talking about Ezra again, but we're up here in Nehemiah. So
yeah, Nehemiah was doing the actual building. Ezra was the scribe. He was the would it be called the priest as well? He was the one that was writing the story. Remember, they tried to prevent him from rebuilding the temple, and he said that he wasn't coming down. He was building the temple and he wasn't going to stop. So Nehemiah and Ezra, a lot of I was reading that a lot of I don't know what people are. You just say they say that Nehemiah and Ezra should be the same book.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm going to have to listen to those again, refresh my memory on it. It says, "And Ezra the priest brought the law before the congregation, both of men and women, and all that could hear with understanding upon the first day of the seventh month." So here's the law being given on the first day of the seventh month.
Well, every time they would do something new or something big, they would always reread the law.
Right, yeah. Well, what would happen is they would fall off, and they would have the bad kings that would come in. And then when the good king would come in, the first thing he would discover is the laws of Moses, and he would read them, and they would start doing a feast, and everything would turn good again. And they would,
then they would fall off again.
When you get a bad king later on, yeah. Later on, you get a wicked king that will come in and take them back to Babylon, so to speak. But it's going, it says, "And he read therein before the street that was before the water gate from the morning until midday, before the men and the women, and those that could understand, and the ears of all the people were attentive unto the book of the law." All right, going all the way to Ezekiel, look like the last one. You want to read it?
"And it came to pass in the 11th year, in the first month, in the 7th day of the month, that the word of the Lord came unto me, saying."
All right, let's go to look at it in context, see what he said. All right, and then that takes us back to verse 19. I'll read that one. It says, "Thus will I execute judgments in Egypt, and they shall know that I am the Lord." Okay, now we're getting ready to talk about the first day of the seventh month, but this is 2018. And, we understand this stuff to be a living parable. So, and we also understand that we have a modern day Egypt. So, we're putting that stuff together in our mind, and we're kind of painting a picture here. And you've already read 20, so go ahead and read 21.
"Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed, to put a roller to bind it, to make it strong to hold the sword." Okay, so this is a rapture watch day. 7:1. There's a lot of stuff going on in the scripture. I'm sorry I don't have Jubilees and Jasher up here. They also list a few dates, but I think the main one that lists dates is Maccabees, and I don't have. I should go find that one. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, talking about the first day of the seventh month. Now this is, as you can see, is an exhaustive search in the King James Version of what happened on the first day of the seventh month. And so that's what they was doing. So it's basically, and throughout history, first day, seventh month, throughout history is kind of thing associated with the law. Okay. First, we were given the commandment there in Numbers, or in the Torah, the first 5 books, and then we don't hear from them again over here until Ezra, where they're trying to get back to the Father. So one time put them with the Father, and then again we're going back to the Father. And remember, the promises of the latter days is that we will be, we're scattered now, but we will be, what's the word I'm looking for? We will be reunited,
you know, in the final days. And so maybe this first day of the 7th month could be something going on. If I had a television, I believe I'd flip it on the news. Hermes Academy. Power, patience, continence, and faith. We teach virtue.